Mr. Parker here to do a ridiculous update that I waited too long on, so bear with me. I'm going to go through it as fast as possible. First, we'll go with the Blu-rays, the Spring Breakers. I watched this. The trailer, honestly, I was like, that looks like crap, and then it was like directed by Hara Kiri, and I was like, now I'm a little interested, I must be honest. So I finally seen it after everybody was telling me, a bunch of people I like their opinions on films telling me to see it. I got the Blu-ray, I watched it, and I'm going to say I did enjoy it. It was a very cool, very different movie. I mean, it's a very simple story, but it's told in a discombobulated way that only Hara Kiri could probably do. And I really enjoyed it. A lot of memorable lines, and James Franco did a great performance. I would recommend that one. The Barrens, I think I have the DVD, but the Blu-ray is really cheap. Anchor Bay, whatever that was. I'm not really sure if it's any good. I have not watched it. The Victim, Michael Biehn, also have the DVD. Again, very cheap. The Gray, which I was very interested in seeing with Liam Neeson. I remember there was a day and time when Liam Neeson did like one movie a year. Recently, he's been popping about all over the place. I mean, he's always usually good in everything I've ever seen him in. Loved him in Darkman, so I mean, this movie looks pretty cool as well. Then we got the Scream Factory releases of The Howling. The Howling is an amazingly awesome movie. It's just been forever since I've seen it, so what better way to revisit it through the new edition from Scream Factory. Scream Factory really is becoming my favorite company, especially the fact that they announced the most anticipated movie release ever for me, probably the Nightbird Cabal cut. But Howling, I'm going to recommend that. I haven't seen it in years, but I remember it always being good. Lifeforce. I wasn't the hugest fan when I saw the DVD of this movie. I've had this on DVD and VHS, and I guess I just got a Blu-ray just because I wanted to give it another shot. I know that it has beautiful actors walking around naked the whole movie, so it can't be that bad. I remember it just being kind of too long. But that is Lifeforce from Scream Factory. And then we have Battledogs. This was pretty cheap. I don't know why I got it. But it just looked like something that I was like, that looks bad, but it might be entertaining. And I'm usually against CGI monsters, but it was cheap. Street Trash, one of my all-time favorite movies, now on Blu-ray. Love this movie. Sleazy, great stuff. Synapse releasing it. I love it. But I haven't watched Blu-ray yet. But again, awesome movie. If you haven't seen Street Trash, you have not seen the melty, golden goodness. Would You Rather? Have not watched this, don't know much about it, but it was, again, not very expensive. IFC Films and looked interesting. Jeffrey Combs is in it. Then we have Punk Vacation. This is from the new company Vinegar Syndrome, which is releasing a bunch of stuff, a lot of it really interesting looking, and I love the idea. This 80s movie, first of all, late 80s, so it's going to be really bizarre. Second, it has punks from the 80s, which I love, and rednecks from the 80s, which I love, and they fight. And that's going to be like two awesome gangs fighting, and you get a whole bunch of probably really cheap, generic, stereotypical, goofy characters that are all going to die, and I'm going to love it. Hopefully, it lives up to my expectations. That's called Punk Vacation. Then we have Blood for Irina, which is, I did a review for this. It's from Anonymity Pictures, and this is kind of like your slow burn horror movie. Not much happens in here, but it's more about the shooting and the atmosphere, and basically the cinematography. It's done by the guy Chris Alexander, who did, he writes for Fangoria. He's an editor. This is a pretty cool movie if you're interested in like the old school, like kind of European vampire gothic horror stuff. Not even really gothic, but vampire type horror things. So check it out. There's no nudity and there's no real gore, which is kind of odd because there's like two staples in it. He made one of those movies without some of the staples, which is, but it still turned out pretty cool. And then this is Nick Box's movie, Mr. Rape's First Date. Yeah, the title alone always brings demented, disgusting, confused smiles to my face. I reviewed this one. Again, he's a very interesting director. I loved his movie, She's Dead. Some of his shorts were cool. But this one was actually a really cool movie. It's really different, really weird, and it might offend some people, but I'd probably say check that one out. Then we have Black Death. I had the DVD and I watched this. I love this movie. I thought it was really cool. It had Sean Bean in it. He's like a witch hunter, and they send him across the country with a group to find out if this like person had turned into a witch, and they have powers and things like that. His like crew and him are getting picked off, and they end up having like a fight and everything. Sean Bean's great in it, and it's also got the guy from the movie Severance. Kind of a spoiler for Severance. The guy who gets his leg caught in the bear trap. He's in this movie, and he's just like kind of crazy. He's got a really great line. But Black Death is really cool stuff. Then we have Synapse's release of Hands of the Ripper. Again, I had this old DVD import. I have not watched this movie yet. I know I'm like buying it, upgrading, and I haven't even watched the originals. Copies I had. But anyways, I'm going to buy pretty much all the Hammer releases Synapse puts out because they're doing a great job. And this I wanted to see. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm really excited about it. It's called A Field in England. And this is an import from the UK by the guy director. What is his name? I want to say it's Ben Wheatley. He directed Sightseers and Kill List. I have not watched my Kill List yet, but Sightseers, blew me away. It was really hilarious, really dark comedy thing, and I thought it was great, and it couldn't have been better. The way they used Season of the Witch, I love that movie. I talked about it a few times, but A Field in England also looked interesting as well. Now let's go into the DVDs. This is going to be random. There's no really which way I can do. Maybe I'll do the VHSs first. That will be a little bit better. Alright, we got The Day of the Reaper right here, which from Tim Ritter. This is his first movie. This is the VHS DVD combo by Sub Rosa. It's a very cool release. I watched this movie. It was interesting, I must say. But for a first movie, I can appreciate it. But Tim Ritter is actually one of the coolest directors there is. He's a really, really nice guy, and he's been doing movies for years. And that's Day of the Reaper. That was their first release from Sub Rosa. And I also got the Twisted Illusions Ultimate Edition. This also comes out with the VHS tape and the DVD, but this is more of a hybrid of Twisted Illusions 1 and 2. And I hadn't seen it yet, so I was kind of watching it. I did enjoy it as well. Some of the stories are better than others, but it's pretty cool anthology. Definitely some shout-outs to Twilight Zone and things like that. And we got this one right here, the T82 Supersonic Tone Maker, which is by the Campbell Brothers. It's a short, really weird movie. I covered it in my Campbell Brothers video about a guy trying to make the super music sound system, and he has these little puppet ghoulies helping him, and he needs to it's really weird machine, and it's really cool. It's shot on 8mm, so it looks really gritty, and it's pretty enjoyable, pretty different, pretty weird. And let's find the other VHSs here. We got Beverly Hills Body Snatchers. Doesn't that sound great? This guy in the cover looks just like Don Caffa, but he's not Don Caffa, so it kind of just bugs me. But right there, he doesn't look like him on the back though. Anyways, this looks fun. Maybe, I don't know. This and the Grave Robbers tape covers always reminded me of each other, so it's like can't have one without the other. Then we have Phantom Town, which looks interesting. It's a kids movie for full moon, but it's like a town covered in zombies. This is like a screener. And last VHS I have actually has the best cover art of the bunch, I think, Ghostriders. It's a really cool cover art, a bunch of skeletons riding horses. You can't beat that. It is a Star Maker tape though, so you know everyone feels about Star Maker. I think they're all ELP mode. So there you go. Now it's time for the plethora of DVDs. I picked up a lot of these, a lot of were pre-orders, a lot were just family video buys, like $2, $1. So let's hop right into Zombie Ass, Toilet of the Dead, from the director of The Machine Girl and Robo Geisha. I can't make this crap up, man. This looks really gross and really... see, they even put this on the back. What the F did I just watch? Somebody, that's the quote they put on the back of the movie. Yeah, this looks insane. This looks weird. This looks gross and silly and probably actually funny. That's Zombie Ass. I can't even say it without laughing. Then we have Suing the Devil. I wish I wouldn't have got this. I mean, it's only $2, but I love Malcolm McDowell, but it's so lame. The quotes on the front are so lame, and they were all covered up by stickers from the video store, so I didn't see them until I peeled the stickers off. And it says the #1 Christian movie in theaters on it, and it says featuring the #1 inspirational Mighty to Save. I don't mind that, but it's just, here's what really made me think that's so cheesy, man. That's just too cheesy for me, and I love cheese. It says this movie defames me, Satan. You put a quote from Satan. Satan didn't say that. That's ridiculous. I liked what the Easter casket did because it made me laugh. That just makes me be embarrassed for the cover. But Malcolm McDowell kind of playing the devil in court. It could be interesting. Could be kind of cool. But not that I'm trying to shoot down the Christian faith. I'm just trying to shoot down the advertisers of that movie. But then we have Another Kind, Lost but Not Alone. This I don't remember what this one's about. I remember being interested in it, and so I picked it up. That happens a lot. I'll buy a bunch of stuff, and I'm not even remember what they're about. That's Another Kind. This is from the director of 13 Assassins, Hara Kiri. Again, very cheap, good company, so I grabbed it. Frozen. The Frozen, not to be confused with the Adam Green movie Frozen, or probably other 10 other movies called Frozen. Hey Felton, how'd you say this? Does this mean fear? I think. Penumbra? I think that does mean fear. But that is an IFC one. Penumbra. You know, everybody knows I have terrible pronunciation skills. But that's IFC. Looked interesting. Tim Ritter, when I got something, he helped me get one of the discs. He helped me, he sent me this for free, the Wicked Game Snuff edition, which is the sequel to the original Truth and Dare, which is really awesome of him to help me out, go out of his way and he helped me out. I really appreciate it. Really great guy. I can't say enough good things about him. Then we have Night of the Eagle, which I believe has an AKA name here. I don't remember exactly what it is, but I think it's Burn Witch Burn. It's a UK import. Nailbiter. I heard some decent things about Nailbiter. We have Curandero, Dawn of the Demon. You know, the cover here, I really wasn't sure what to expecting, but I read the back and I was like, man, why didn't I pick this up before? This sounds really cool. Exhumed by Richard Griffin. This is a pretty cool, different movie, especially for a Griffin movie I've seen. It's more of a psychological type horror film, and it has, you know, Debbie Rochon in it. And who else is in this? I can't remember the guy's name, but he does a really... Michael Thurber. He does a really good job, too. Then we have House of Rathicus. I remember who was in this, an actor, Kyle Rappaport, kept telling me about his movie, and he's like, hey, are you going to buy it? You going to buy it? And so I did buy it, man, but I have not had a chance to watch it. If you're interested, it's on Amazon. I'm not really even sure what it's about. This is a Jeff Burr movie. You know, this looks a lot like that VHS I just bought, which is Phantom Town. I wonder, they're definitely the same movie. Spooky Town and Phantom Town look identical on cover. They probably are the same movie, actually, but Jeff Burr is a totally underrated director. Then we have one from Shout Factory, which has Irina, Eliminators, America 3000, and The Time Guardian. But none of these are rated R, but they're all made in that time frame where it didn't matter. Movies could still be amazingly awesome and not for kids and not rated R. But I remember watching Irina all the time when I was a kid, and these all look awesome. Can't wait to watch Irina again. It's about this guy going to like an intergalactic fight world, and he's like fighting monsters and shit in tournaments. I haven't seen it since I was a kid. Dark Side of Genius. I have not watched this movie. This is again from Scorpion Pictures, which I actually love that company as well. Then we have the Severed Head Network. This one is the shorter version one, but I bought this just because it has one short I wanted to see by Eric Stanzi. And we have Abducted, which just put a review up, Kidnapped and Brutalized. Now I know this looks like your typical torture porn stuff, and you're like, oh, I've seen these movies 100 times. They torture this person, they kidnap them, they rape them, they do all sorts of things. Nothing like that. It is, they kidnap them, but it's completely different. It's a psychological thing. It's well acted. It's a UK like thing, and I must say that it's an emotional roller coaster that I honestly was like cringing and like tearing up at points. It's pretty crazy, and I really dug it. I don't want to give too much away. The more I say, the less it's good for you to watch. Death Factory. I saw the trailer for this on, I remember, Raving Maniacs, and I was like, wow, that looks freaking awesome. It looks like it definitely inspired by Return of the Living Dead Part 3, the lady with the razor things at the very end. And you're watching Return of the Living Dead 3, you see when she goes all, like, bondaged out with all the claws and stuff, and you're like, that is awesome. And then you're like, why not see a feature length like that? And this is what Death Factory looks like. She's like a killer with razor claws in a factory. And then I think this is the sequel, Death Factory, The Bloodletting. Different director, different company. I couldn't pass it up either. They were both dirt cheap, so I was like, I want to see it. And then we have The Bleeding House, which again was very cheap, and it does sound interesting. It's good from a good company, and I wouldn't really pick this one up for a while, but I found it for the right price, so boom. The Dead Want Women. The cover art alone sold me on this movie. I know it's a full moon. Eric Roberts is in it, so some people might be scared to pick it up. I mean, Eric Roberts, you know, he's been kind of like a lot of movies that people would consider crap lately, but I always liked Eric Roberts in the 80s. But this is The Dead Want Women. Interesting zombie movie. I get pretty much every zombie movie if I know it's crap. Except, you know, just some of the absolute garbage ones. Kiss the Abyss. I like the name, and it's a monster movie, and the monster on the back looks interesting enough. Webs, a parallel dimension, a gateway to hell. That was what interested me, and I picked it up, and I looked, and there's this like alien on the back, and he's like, and I was like, sold. $2. Alien. Sold. Scream Bloody Murder. I had a big stack of them. They're like, hey, those are 2 for $4. And I ran back and I grabbed this crap fest. Girls with chainsaws and school outfits from York Entertainment. Remember York? They didn't last too long. Remember Colobus was on York. I loved Colobus. I got this movie called I'll Bury You Tomorrow, directed by Alan Rowe Kelly. I didn't know they actually directed this movie. They directed, I believe, the movie Blood Shack. And Blood Shack's fun stuff. This is I'll Bury You Tomorrow. This is the import as well. And we have Reconciled Through the Christ. I bought this because it is a Tim Ritter movie, and pretty much picking up all his stuff. I have not watched this. I don't know much about it. It's rated 13. I don't know anything about this movie, to be honest. It seems kind of like the oddball out of his titles. The Wicked, She Feeds on Your Fear. I think it's about a witch. Not enough movies about witches. Raving Maniacs by Richard Griffin. This movie's pretty interesting. I love the concept. I could see some faults with it, but I did enjoy it all around. Gut. This is a really cool movie. I did a review for it. I got a screener way back. This is a very different kind of movie. It's definitely psychological horror, but I would recommend Gut. It's different. Watch the review if you want to know more. I enjoyed it. It's a really cool movie. Then we have the Severed Head Network compilation DVD, which has like 2 or 3 Eric Stanzi shorts on there I wanted to see. We have another copy of The Killers. This is my 3rd copy of this movie. This is the UK import. This movie is freaking weird, and this movie is actually very cool. and different. It's about a pair of brothers on the run, and they end up stopping in this family and taking them hostage, but the family is not what it appears to be. Zombie Doom, aka aka Violent Shit 3. I only bought this. I know I'm hoping on Synapse will eventually release the Violent Shit on a box set. I haven't seen those movies, parts of those movies, since I was a kid. I tried to watch the first one when I was like 12 or 13, and I was like, this sucks ass. I'll watch Zombie Bloodbath instead. But, you know, I think now that I can appreciate the crappy happiness of it. But I got it because Zombie 90's on there. I don't know if that's going to be the box set or not. And Zombie 90 is really terribly hilarious. The dubbing is atrocious. If I say dubbing's atrocious, it's atrocious. Monster from Bikini Beach. The title alone sold me. I love sea creatures, especially ones that come on land and want to attack beautiful women in bikinis. What kind of monster wouldn't? I actually have a box set with this in it, but I picked it up just to get the commentary. It was really cheap. Necroville by Richard Griffin. I haven't had a chance to watch it. It's about two guys and they fight a bunch of monsters. I think there's a werewolf, there's zombies in it. Sounds awesome to me. Cordoba Nights. This is the Campbell Brothers movie. This is not really a horror movie, but it's very cool. Got a crime comedy type deal. It's not too comedy, but it's about a pizza guy delivering in one crazy night. It's really interesting. It's their first movie they used. They shot on, I think, all the film, and they got some bigger actors and things like that, and I really enjoy it. It's Joe Estevez and Dwayne Whitaker in it. It's a really cool movie. I'd recommend it. It's probably their best made film. Then we have this Shockorama horror collection here with The Screaming Dead, Shockorama, Bacterium, and Bite Me, all by Brent Piper. I already had Bite Me, but I picked this up. It was a hell of a deal. Kind of interested in seeing more Brent Piper movies, picking his stuff up too. And what else do we got? Absentia, which I hate the cover art of this movie. Like, I hate that cover art. I Didn't Come Here to Die is the same cover art. I Didn't Come Here to Die is a great movie. You could probably go to Family Video and get it for $2. I saw one for $1 today. I already have it, but I'd recommend that movie. It's way better than you think it is by the cover art. And this is the same cover art exactly. I don't know why people keep doing that. And then Night Shadow. I remember this cover art as a kid. I imported this. It involves karate and werewolves. Yeah, I hadn't seen it. I completely forgot about it until I saw the cover art. We have Knock Knock 2. Have not watched. Don't know anything about. We're going to start speeding through these. Vile. I'm Not Scared. 2 thumbs up by Ebert Roper. That's kind of weird. China White Serpentine by Eric Stanzi. Bedeviled. I was happy to find this for $2. Looks interesting. I think it's a Korean horror movie, and you know Koreans do horror movies pretty damn good. We have The Moth Diaries. I don't know if I already picked this up, but for $2 I was willing to do it again. It's kind of like a vampire movie from IFC. The Entity by Fangoria. I like their movie Germ Z. That was a cool movie. No one talks about it. Shock Labyrinth. Again, an Asian movie from Wellspring, USA. Then we have The Midnight Sun, which looks like an adult Twilight, but all the things in the back, Dread Central, Bloody Disgusting. I was thinking, oh, it's got to be decent for $2. Oh, there's a little Lego that came with one of the SRS tapes that came with Twisted Illusions. It's really cool. Virgins and Vampires, the films of Gene Roland. This is pretty cool here. This actually includes Requiem for a Vampire, Fascination. Which one does it? Freebie DVD. Samplers of Rollins. It's like a sampler disc. The cover art's cool. It wasn't very expensive. But, you know, I have a bunch of Gene Roland movies, so I figured I'd pick that up. Knock Knock. This case has beat the crap, but again, I think it was like $1. Heard good things about it. And then we have All American Zombie Drugs. I like the title. I like the cover art. I don't know, I just like the idea that it's a zombie movie, but the cover art just looks like some indie, like, comedy type deal. Then we have Crow's Nest from IFC. Don't know much about it. Dead Teenagers. I bought this just because it's a Chris LaMartina movie. He did Witch's Brew and President's Day. He's a really cool guy. Machine Head. This looked really interesting as well. It looked like kind of like a weird comedy Frankenstein thing. Deep Dark Canyon. I thought this looked cool as hell. About 2 brothers get handcuffed together, pull Rambo. Cannibal Dead, The Ghouls. This was very cheap as well, and I got it as an import. Gore rating 10 out of 10. Nah, that sounds cool. Area 407. This looked terrible to me, but somebody told me something special about it, and I couldn't stop laughing. I don't want to give anything else away. They're not what you think they are, but that's IFC. Cyclops. Yeah. This is by Brent Piper as well. The Hole, which is Joe Dante's newest movie. And Joe Dante's a totally underrated director. You guys will know him from Gremlins, Howling, Piranha, The Burbs, Small Soldiers. Just Gremlins 2. Just a totally underrated director that never got the appreciation. He did in Twilight Zone and stuff, but I think he right now you don't hear him ever in like the big talks of like directors out there. Ghoul, which is, I guess it's like a kid-oriented, but it's R-rated, so I'm not really sure. It looked cool to me. What else we got here? Carla, which is based on the Ken and Barbie serial killer murders. And it has Donna from that 70s show in it. Nobody Gets Out Alive. 4 out of 4 stars. Poor bid. I don't know what that is. But it's Image. That means it could be bad or good. So you got here. I picked this up, drive-in double feature, Dead Girl on Film. This looks scratched to shit, but it's only $2. And Kitty Killers, I bought this for the Dead Girl on Film movie, which is a Brian Pullen movie. And I didn't even know he made it. Ultimate Zombie Fest, the Region 1, I have the Region 2, but it comes with a bunch of shorts. Zombies and Cigarettes, Plague, Pit and Arise, Not Even Dead, Fear of the Living Dead, Kids, Zombier, and the exclusive premiere of the Book of Zombies. A couple bucks, couldn't pass it. Kill for Me. These two kind of look odd. Beyond the Lost World, The Alien Conspiracy, and Engineer, The Alien Agenda, The Alien Species, which are both Tim Ritter movies, and they both seem like oddball titles for him as well. You know, he's famous for Truth or Dare and Killing Spree. Well, those are those two Alien films he did. Zombie Driller Killer. I don't remember who told me to see this, but it looked interesting, and it looks fun to me. Skinheads. This is a UK import. Looked interesting. Heard it was a good movie. Heard it was kind of like a classic. You know, there's a lot of movies considered classics in other countries that none of us even heard about over here, and vice versa. But Hider in the House, I'm sure people have heard of that, I just hadn't until now. Hider in the House, I remember this cover because Gary Busey's looking in the window creeping, and I thought I had to see it. We've been waiting to get that for years. If a Tree Falls, I remember Seth Godin picked this up at Horror Convention, and I was interested in it. He still hadn't watched it, I don't think, and I was interested. Valley of the Bees and Valerie and Her Week of Wonders are both Czechoslovakia horror films that I have not seen, and they are United States releases, but they're out of print and they go for ridiculous amounts of money. You can pick them up on UK, and they're not very much, so that's what I did. So I can match. I had another one they released that was, I got a United States edition from eBay, so I picked it up. That's those two. And I have never seen the Czechoslovakian horror movie, so. Then we have Once Were Warriors, which I believe is an Australian movie. Looked cool. I already mentioned this one, didn't I? Yeah, and Zombie. I think that's all of them. I think I went through everything. I mentioned If a Tree Falls. Yeah. Well, I got a huge mess on my hands now, but just want to thank again Tim Ritter and the Campbell Brothers for being so nice when I was trying to get stuff. They actually contacted them and they helped me out get the last of their movies and whatnot. But I'm Mr. Parka. Have a good one. Take care. Longest video ever.